can the Blackmagic take stills? Well, not per se, but when you're talking 120 frames per second, you've got 120 frames per second of stills. And when you're shooting at Q0, which is the highest resolution, and you're doing it at DCI resolution, here's a couple of other ones. Oop, you'll have to excuse me, I got some pelicans flying. Okay. Here they come gliding in. There we go. Perfect. So here's some shots that I did at a raptor sanctuary, and you tell me whether they're still worthy. I think you can see quite clearly the quality speaks for itself. This camera shoots amazing footage, and you can extract stills from that quite easily. And I'm going to shoot some more of these pterodactyls, and wow, they're just flying like crazy here. It's like an addiction in a way, because you're always trying to catch that one just beautiful spot. And what I really enjoy is like right here, this one. They come up as you're filming something else, and then just all of a sudden you catch it out of your eye, and you don't see it with the camera itself, but you know it's coming. So whatever you were filming initially, I start moving the camera because I know that big one's coming into frame, and then bam, if I can catch that, they're really just impressive. It's impressive seeing that just come up into frame like some massive ship, that just, out of nowhere, that I love. This modern day pterodactyl, they glide with this power. And so far I've only been hit once with their bombs, and you can see the ground here is kind of littered, but I've only been hit once, and that was about a 7-minute flock swarm overhead that I caught, and I was just hit once in the shoulder. So this is a little insight into one of the things that I shoot, and I find we can produce some very cool shots with this camera, especially at 120 frames per second. So now I shot some today here with set on Q0, which eats up a lot of hard drive space. But yeah, just to show you that there is, they are high quality stills that you can pull off of that. And more than that, you capture, 120 frames of them every second. And as long as your shutter speed is going fast, mine is a minimum of 240. I will usually bump that up to 500 plus. Near sunset, I have to drop it down. Obviously, the available light. Blackmagic Pocket 4K. Got my adapter with a standard MPF battery, and the Minolta $11 eBay special. It's the 28 to 80 on a photodiox adapter. This is a Manfrotto and Bogan, another thrift store special. It's a $900 floating head tripod that I got for $13 at a thrift store, probably about 10 years ago. With this type of a background, how can you possibly not get good footage? And you have to realize that I'm out here sometimes 3-4 hours. It is a patience game. So just about everything that I do, all of the work I've done in my life, comes down to two things: hard work and patience. And Then the third one is putting yourself out there. That's what YouTube is for. That's what all these other, look at that. That's what, and you got to have a love for some of these things that you're looking at and wanting to invest time doing. And sometimes you'll be talking with people and you find great stories they'll tell you as well. But here, you got to love it. You got to have patience. You got to know your equipment. I've been filming with the Blackmagic for a very long time, so I know it really well. And then you have to know how it interacts with your lenses as well as your codecs. What I'll do here is I'll switch between sometimes 2K, which is 1080p, up to the 2.6K. Wow, that is impressive. So impressive. Just the grace with which they do it and those massive wings is so impressive. You aren't going to get 120 frames per second on the DCI. So you get 60, you can double that later with slowing it down in slow motion. But you want to shoot with the proper settings. 120 frames per second really gets some smooth, graceful footage, but blurry photos are so much material that you'll get because you're trying to catch these things going fast. That's why the Minolta here I really love, because it's got a very solid and fluid. It's almost like the Manfrotto fluid head there. It's got such a nice fluid movement with its focus, and so that's why I can do some of that while zooming and so forth and maintain a fairly good sharpness, though sometimes you just don't get that. So you've got a hard drive that you just got to start cleaning out. From here it's ingest into the computer, and that means taking all of the footage, going through it, each and every single one. Like the other day I went to the Raptor Sanctuary and came back with over 100 gigabytes worth of footage. That's a lot of clips, and that's you got to go through it, each and every single one of those, because some of those, no matter how beautiful the composition and the source material, sometimes there is just, it's blurry, it's just off by a little bit, and there's nothing you can do with that. You got to toss it out. So blurriness can't be fixed in post. I mean, you can sharpen it to some degree, but not worth anything. I mean, maybe on low res YouTube uploads, but even there, why injure your viewers by subjecting them to that when you want to put up some of your best stuff. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you'd like to see more of it or more of the particulars. I've got a lot of information I can give you. Just start asking questions and I'll do my best to answer it, and if I don't know it, I'll find out. And thumbs up please, and share if you can. We'd like to grow this channel. Thank you.